Howdy, howdy. It is another day here. I really wanted to do a video on something that has been kind of important to me for some time. Um, I have been a very big collector of Willie Mays for some time, and obviously with his passing, uh, there's been a lot more interest in the market for his signature. It's not even necessarily from his passing. This has been the case for a long time. People have always wanted to get Willie Mays autographs. Willie used to be a very difficult signer. I spoke with some people at the National this year that told me that he wasn't awful to work with. But from what I've read online, a lot of the times, um, he wanted to be on the sweet spot of a baseball. If it was a multi-signed or a 500 home run ball, uh, he wouldn't really listen to people. If you wanted an inscription, he would just kind of blow you off. He wouldn't give it to you. Um, so one of the big things about Willie Mays is inscriptions are very rare. And if you see an inscription, most of the time it's going to be a personalization with somebody's name. The reason why I want to make this video, though, is because for years I haven't seen fake Willie Mays autographs plastered everywhere on eBay. And it's not just Willie Mays. And this isn't like breaking news. I'm pretty sure everybody who's ever used that app knows that this is a thing. Uh, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio. I mean, I've literally seen recently people print out a Babe Ruth autograph on paper, cut it out, and try to sell it. It's the worst scam you've ever seen. It's like somebody took a really small Babe Ruth signature and blew it up on a 3x5, and they're trying to sell it for $10,000. It always cracks me up. But Willie Mays, because he is a cheaper autograph, he's easier to market to a less educated buyer, I think is the correct way of saying it. I just wanted to do this. It's not going to take us too long to get through this. I wanted to, let's see if I can do this. I'm still getting kind of acclimated. Oh, look at that. I'm kind of getting acclimated to this whole YouTube thing. And I just want to make sure before I go anywhere that I'm actually doing this correctly. Oh, yeah, good. Okay, very good. So, first of all, I wanted to just kind of say where to begin when it comes to Willie Mays and where to avoid. I was, it's funny. When I first got back into collecting, Willie Mays was one of the hardest ones for me to get. I actually hated thinking about buying a Willie Mays autograph when I was younger. I used to collect, and then I took a big break. But Willie Mays, he's always the one I wanted to put off. I don't know why that was. I just didn't really care about Willie. I didn't really care so much about Ted Williams either. Willie Mays was always a very interesting autograph to me. And when I first got back into it, I started looking at the consistencies of his signature, and I found very quickly that there were zero. So coming into the world of collecting autographs, especially with Willie Mays, it's really difficult. He signed his name so many different ways, legitimately, and the forgers basically took advantage of that. So I will quickly go through a website that I use all of the time for authentic autographs that's not on eBay sales, not on heritage auctions, or anywhere else. Just this is some information I think every single collector needs to know, and I'm sure you do. There's no way that you haven't already figured this out. But PSA Facts, Autograph Facts primarily. They have a card facts variation of this website. It's a very old website. You can see a 3x5. It says it's $50, and I think a single signed ball is $150. That was about what I was paying at the time when I started really primarily collecting Willie Mays. I managed to get together 8 Willie Mays baseballs, a couple of the catch photographs, which are highly, highly forged. and a couple of other items that were pertaining to Willie Mays before his passing. And I'll go over some of the autographs that I actually ended up selling with Golden and taking advantage of the thing that I think 95% of people that were collecting in Willie Mays were planning on doing, which was collecting copious amounts of signatures and then selling them as soon as he passed. It's the reason why when he passed, eBay was inundated with forgeries and legitimate signatures. It was really a remarkable thing to see. But I wanted to start really quick here with beautiful examples of Willie Mays. And I want you to pay attention to how most of these look different. You'll see a lot of the patterns, and I'll just point this out. And this is actually fun because I've never really got to go over this before. But I have this actual photo in my closet. It's not this actual photo, obviously, but this photo, this pose, and signed in the exact same marker. And one of the things that's been big about Willie's autograph, to me, this is a really weird example, but I could tell you this was a good example because of the M. You'll notice that this M is kind of sloshy, and then the O, which is, they always say his name was Fleece Mop. He would sign his name Fleece Mop. If it doesn't look like it says FLEECE Mop, it's not a good one. And we'll get over to how there's one type of forgery you'll see the most, but there's always this little swoop, like this little falling pit, what I would like to call a triangle. I always saw it as like a 4, backwards 4. There's always a little indentation, very slight. We'll go to the next photo and maybe you'll see. See, this one kind of bows out a little bit. And then this is kind of like his like late 80s where it kind of plateaued out and it kind of looks like a nose. It's really weird. It's where I mean, like, this is the traditional Willie Mays autograph, very safe, late 80s, early 90s. This is more of the more flamboyant, early to mid 80s. And then this is like that same late 80s to early 90s. He signed his name differently, on whatever side of the bed he woke up that morning. This is another one of those this is actually a really nice autograph. It's got a lot of flamboyancy to it, a lot of flair. That's where a lot of people like to collect, is when you get a lot of the super high up flair. Here's that swoop again that kind of comes down. When you sell this type of autograph, you'd see it kind of move over to the I and the L, or what would be the I and the L. You can see it kind of connects. These get kind of close, but Willie Mays is an anomaly because a lot of people sign their name, and we're not going to talk about vintage stuff because he really signed his name like 3 different ways back then too, and his wife signed a lot for him too. Here's that little swoop, the little fall. I mean, you can see it. You don't even have to really be paying too much attention. Once you see the swoop and this large format and the nice M, you'll always see the M. The M is a dead giveaway, and the W, what is his W? A 4, backwards 4 is the dead giveaway of if it's a good signature or not. Then you'll start to see some of these that are older stickers. And now this is where I kind of want to get into paying attention, because we'll get to a point here where I'll show you why. This ball is actually for sale on Golden right now, and it's a real sock rocker. I mean, it's a one-of-a-kind ball. It's it'll probably be the most expensive Willie Mays ball it probably sells this month, I would assume. Older, very, very beautiful vintage signature from him. Same deal. This is a contract, it looks like, for McGregor Sport, probably gloves. Another vintage autograph. These you really can't go wrong on, as long as it's not like the big swoopy flamboyant one, which I'll find, because they always sell for pretty cheap. Those were signed by his wife. You'll see a lot of the time this really nice, almost scripture looking signature, and that's when he had his penmanship perfect. A lot of this again is just old vintage stuff, vintage signatures. This is a larger format where it's a San Francisco contract. This is a very flamboyant signature. There we are, that mid 80s going towards the late 80s, where it was just a lot of flair. So that's where you'll also see a lot of hesitation in the letters. Like, that's one thing I'll notice, is that he always kind of stuttered a little bit. It's very odd, and these are signatures I don't have a single issue with at all. These are all spectacular signatures. In 1991, that's a gorgeous signature. Hopefully you're picking up, though, of what examples we have. This is out of a book. What examples we do have that you can always see that little fall down. So it's this little fall down. And the M always looks about the same. There's always about the same amount of gap between the I-L-L-I-E. It's always around the same area. And then he did this second format thing where he would streak his M and bring the Y back over the M. It was kind of odd. You don't see it too often. This is another one of those examples. But you can still see the swoop. If you see the swoop, 95% of the time you've got to find one, as long as the rest of the characteristics line up. And there's a reason why. I'll show you why it matters that the rest of them all line up. Again, up here, you can really see the swoop down. The M is kind of sloppy. Here's the swoop. I mean, it's clear as day. As long as you're paying attention to it and it's not a vintage autograph, you know, even right here on this card with a nice inscription, you can see just even here at the very beginning, it's not like how you would form your 4. It's got a little bit of curvature to it. Same deal here. I mean, you don't have to be blind. You can see that. There's a fairly nice piece signed by Mickey, Duke, and Willie, and you can still, again, see that little slant. That's one of those very small things that you really have to pay attention to. They have 48 examples on here for Willie Mays. This is a very nice signed baseball. Again, see the swoop fall down, sloppy little M. You know, let's find Willie. I'm sure you guys already found Willie, and I'm blind. Aha, there he is, right here. Really fast, really rushed signature. M is still pointy. It's either pointy for him or it's really sloppy. There's really no in between. 46, 47, 48. Here's another one of these. This is actually a really straight example here. It seems that he was, and this is actually almost looks like an upside, or like almost looks like a W. So you always notice this like M deal, like the late 80s, mid 80s, early 90s, which he stopped signing baseballs in the late 2000s. He got sick, he got really old, and then COVID happened, and you know, even before COVID, he hardly ever came out. So to find a newer baseball is pretty rare. And their situation to get him to continue signing signatures, like their idea as a business for Willie Mays was to create a company called Say Hey, and it was his own memorabilia company, like how Stan Musial had Stan the Man Incorporated, where he would sign things for, you know, on his own website, and they came with a little sticker and then a little certificate of authenticity that was also signed by Stan. It always cracks me up because I'll see those certificates signed by Stan, and then people have those certificates of authenticity slabbed for the item that, you know, was sold on his website. The one thing that I'll tell you about Willie Mays is Say Hey did not last very long, and that's because the stickers, the holograms, which I'll show here, they were stolen. Somebody had gotten their hands on a very good amount of these stickers. You can see it down here, Say Hey authentication. It'll say Say Hey authenticated with Willie making the famous catch. And 95% of the time, you see these autographs, they're all the same. They're all the same. They have a lot of the characteristics of what an authentic Willie Mays would have, but they're not authentic. These are all forgeries. And if you believe me or not, there's actually an article about PSA and JSA at the time authenticating these blindly. People would just remember this was like the mid 2000s, so authentication was in its infant stage of a credibility. Fairly. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it was really the beginning of it all. There's a lot of these inscriptions with these balls, Say Hey, and it's always really odd because, you know, if you were to take a ball with this sticker on it and you were to take it to $500 baseball. If you were to take it to Golden, or if you were to take it to Heritage, or PSA DNA today, or JSA today, they will not accept that ball. They will not. They will not. They will decline having that ball on their service, and they will decline that ball of being authenticated. They will not accept a say hey ball. There's too much liability in those balls. So here's the funniest part about it, though, is these balls are premium pieces. They are always high grade. They seem very highly desirable, and the ink is in very good condition every single time. It's because these were signed. These could have been signed within the last 5 years. Again, none of these are authentic examples. Probably 95% of them are not. And you'll notice that a lot of these prices are stupid expensive for these balls. I think actually right now, if you go to eBay, which we'll get around to, I think one of the most expensive one of the most expensive Willie Mays pieces right now on all of eBay is a say hey ball. Here's an absolutely horrible forgery. It's got one of those fake security stickers or whatever you want to call that. That's a absolutely horrible knockoff signature. It's not even a regulation of baseball. This is a baseball you would have walked into play again sports and got your hands on one. They've sold 17 of these things for $125. Okay. Here's what a real Willie Mays baseball looks like. These are my baseballs that I sold at auction. I sold quite a few of these. Again, I've got one of them for sale now, but it's, again, a lot of the format that we're looking for. Not this. This is so bad. You have got to be just trying to get your hands on anything at this point instead of taking your time and finding a real signature. Let me go ahead and do this really quick. You should just go ahead and log us all straight in without. Yep. So payment received, sold. I think this is where I could go. Yes. Okay. Very good. So again, same deal. I actually bought these balls all on purpose by design. These were actually QVC Golden balls. So Golden, Paul Golden originally ran Scoreboard Incorporated back in the late 80s, early 90s. They had contracts with Mantle, Koufax, Seaver, Willie Mays, Schneider. I mean, you name them, they had them. And this was one of the deals where you could order a baseball through QVC. And I basically just collected those. And they went for next to nothing because people didn't trust the Scoreboard autographs. And I will absolutely sit here and say that they absolutely are forged. People will forge these Scoreboard autographs because it's just a little slip of paper. However, if you pay attention to the runs, like I did, you can tell there's about 3 different runs. There's this first, like, really kind of has some play to it. And then there's this more like cleaned up run. And it's like a more, you can see it, it's a little bit more better format. It's kind of tighter. Everything is much tighter than it was in the previous signature. And then you'll have this super flamboyant version. I can't believe that's an app. That's crazy. This is a really flamboyant signature. I love this ball. And it's, that's the craziest part about this is why would you can look at these prices. $238 with the buyer's premium, $195 was your winning bid on that. $125 for this sack of shit. It doesn't take a brainless monkey to figure out that this is horrible. If I were to go back here to the Willie Mays and I haven't even looked at this. I just said, let's go and look at how easy it is to find forged items on eBay. Let's see how easy it is to spend your money on a website that actively goes to the National Sports Collectors Convention and puts it all out there for people. Hey, you can come on our website. Everything's authentic. The baseball cards, we do eBay authenticity. We want to make sure that everybody's getting genuine goods. You've seen commercials for it. They don't give a shit about the autographs. And then when you call them out for it on social media, they go, wow, we can't vet everything. If you'd like to report the item, that'd be a full-time job. There's so much garbage on here, and eBay has no accountability. So this is the deal. Look, this is just like what our second item. Second item, you type in Willie Mays, all categories, you can just search it. Literally the second item is a forgery. First set's actually a beautiful 3-piece set that I saw this morning with Duke Schneider, Mickey Mantle, and Willie Mays, and they actually all have letters. This is a really good deal. If you were in the market for something like this would be stunning. That's a smoking deal. As they're sold individually, it's a great deal. This is one of the biggest forgery pieces out there in the whole world. You always see this nameplate, and I can't remember the name of this. Certificate of authenticity is what they call it. Genuine authentic, and it's got like a fake number on the back of it. Fake Hank Aaron, horrible fake Hank Aaron. And this Willie Mays, you'll always see this Willie Mays, it's fake. It's horrible, and you'll see it frequently. It's really crazy how easy it's the same person who's doing this shit. It's their hand every time. Here's the same picture, just different. The plaque is still the same, like that horrible little plaque. And they're actually this is a Stacks of Plaques sticker that they are, they had an original Stacks of plaque. Then they took the thing off, the original plaque off. They put this new plaque on, which is just printed and then put on a thin piece of metal. And then they screw it back down with the old vintage screw-ons. I mean, look at this. And fake. This is fake. It's the same hand. It's the same hand, same photo, same hand. Look at the low resolution of this photograph. I mean, you can see how it's not even printed to scale. I mean, it's horrible. Hairline, look at that little hairline right there in that. It's horrible. This is one of the most iconic photos of all time. I'm going to close this one out. Is the catch. Again, you'll see this all the time. Here's another one of those fake COAs. Quality, gem, authentic, rarity, genuine. You can see if you look at the last two signatures I just showed you, it's again the same hand. Whoever's doing it is faking this shit every day of the week. 20 viewed in the last 24 hours. 5 have been sold. 5 have been sold. Kiwi, same eBayer. Same eBayer. If I go down to this one, here we go again. This is fake. This is fake. It's the same exact sticker again, except this is a color photo. I guarantee Willie was already dead when this photo was printed out, let alone signed. I think this is, yes. So another time you'll see this. 6 of these have been sold, $300 a piece. This one is the Say Hey sticker, so you'll see there's the Say Hey authenticated up there. I mean, you can see it, and it's that same signature. Get really used to the signature. You already saw how Willie Mays has a very unique signature. Every time that he goes to sign something, it's always different. Pay attention to the signature, because it's a miracle. Every single time he ever signed anything with a Say Hey sticker, it's always the same. Every single time. And they'll pretty these frames up real nice. They'll do this nice matting job where they have a really nice matting device there at their forgery office or whatever they're doing. And they'll make these look really nice and then charge you $300 for something that's worth nothing, with a reprint ticket down here. Like, this isn't a real ticket. If this was a real ticket for the catch, you'd be talking about a $3,000, $2,000 ticket. It's ridiculous that you would even believe for a second that you're buying an authentic piece of memorabilia. Same deal down here. Horrible fake plaque. The same one I just showed you with the Hank Aaron. Horrible. Look at that horrible, horrible printed out little thing. And there's the same hand. Again, same hand. This is actually just printed, little 5x7 like you print out at your house if you had a Kodak camera out of a printer. Nothing special. Here it is again. You can start to see it's always these really low quality matting jobs. Same deal, same hand, fake autograph. This is just, suggested, inspired by your recent views. So let's say you got going down, the rabbit hole of, maybe hypothetically buying something for your son for Christmas, which is normally how this always goes is, oh, my son loves Willie Mays and he just passed away. Oh, I'm going to get him the cheapest thing out there because, well, money's tight. Here's a good one. This is actually a good signature. I would buy this. Oh, look, It's got a Beckett letter. It's not a real Beckett letter, but it's likely to pass. It's the signature review. It's always amazing to me. For $10, you can get a pretty good gist of whether or not it's an authentic signature, but you didn't even need that. All you needed to see was just that. As soon as I saw that, it was good. I didn't even see that photo. $150, that's fair, especially now he's gone. It's, you know, that's a pretty a-okay deal. Not going to be able to find a lot of cheap Willie Mays stuff anymore. Own a piece of baseball history with this authentic Willie Mays 8x10. Features a stunning image of Mays in action with his signature proudly displayed. Its original autograph, of which is authentic and has been authenticated, ensuring its validity for years to come. That's what you're claiming is authenticated right there, with that little fake sticker that is not part of a company. It's a scratch and sniff, frankly, is all it is. I mean, look at how far I'm coming down. Look here on the right side. This is how close I've gotten. 1, 2, fake. 3, 4, fake. Coming down, 5, 6, 7, fake. 8, fake. All the way down here, here's say hey authentication. Fake, fake, fake. Fake. Always beware of jerseys. They're never good. I've never seen a good Willie Mays jersey. I still have, I mean, I've seen a couple of them, but they always sell for thousands of dollars, and they sell on legitimate websites, not on eBay. Because anybody who owns a jersey knows not to sell on eBay. Theirs is a good one. Now, PSA, of course, that's good, but this one's another one of those QVC run balls. This is actually one of the laser balls. These were pretty rare. I think these were less than 500, maybe, that made of these. 660, so that was 660 home runs. So they did 660 of these laser printed balls, which I liked these because home run 341, July 2nd, 1962 versus New York. Those are very good balls. This is a fair price because that is an interesting piece, especially if you just collect this run and you kind of collect them like baseball cards. This is a fun one to have in your collection. Fake, I know what autograph we're on now. This is a good one. Willie Mays spelled incorrectly. That's fun. This is a good signature. A lot of the times if you see like an impromptu autograph where it's not as nice of an autograph, like where it's this Sharpie, it sits up on the ball. Normally, most of the time, they're good ball. They're good autographs. It's a lot of the time, this is out of his book, the Say Hey book. You'll see a lot of the times this book, autobiography of his, they'll be signed. A lot of the times you'll see where it says Willie Mays with an inscription. It's like to whoever bought the book, best wishes. This is a good Willie Mays. I've seen a lot of these before. QVC ball, a lot of baseball cards. This is a good ball. As soon as you start to see that it's really leveled out, like if you can take this, like where he put his 4 out essentially, and run it like a level all the way across, and it lines up with the M, and it's as a flamboyant on the other side, you've got a pretty good signature 95% of the time. A lot of this just comes with looking at these signatures and getting acclimated to them. Here's this is one that is, they say it's good. I always pay attention to these certificates because the older basic certs didn't really do a lot of justice. Okay, now that I see the M, that is actually a good one. I was kind of concerned because the W, the 4 in Willie is kind of short, and I've never really seen that before. But what I just showed you, $3.99, or that one that was fake for what, $2.49, pay the other $150 and just get the real one. Stick it up on your wall and be happy with it. I don't know why anybody would go and spend that kind of money. And eBay should be ashamed of themselves that I have to scroll all the way down to the very bottom of the first page to get my hands on an authentic 8x10. Here's his wife's signature. I've seen his wife sign a lot of things, and this is always how it was. Very flamboyant. Signature starts in the middle of the autograph and then swoops up and then becomes Willie. Same deal. I've never seen him sign his name like this. Don't ever fall for this. This is a secretarial signature. This is most of the time it's mailed. You'll see a lot of TTP sent through the mail, where people send the stuff back through the mail. You'll see a lot of the times that's how that signature's being signed, is through the mail. Yeah, that's our first page down. Fake numbers. You always see these numbers. They printed out billions. It seemed like billions of these numbers. And it's the same deal. I mean, you can tell by that photograph, say authenticated. The sticker's not even professionally mounted. It's just, that'll work. And it's just the number. It's not actually like on anything. This is like a envelope. This is like a padded envelope. 3 of these have sold. We've got 6 more of these things for $69. Can you imagine how nice it would be to own a Willie Mays signed number for $69 and to have 6 of them sitting on the sideline for you to buy? It's ridiculous. Here's his wife's signature again. This actual autograph's been on eBay for quite some time. It's not going to pull up on me because we're running behind a little bit, but that's his wife's signature. Again, here's another TTP. Here's another fake one there. One with Reggie Jackson. GAI. You know, I shouldn't really have to talk about GAI, Global Authentication Incorporated. This is, again, a lot of the time. We'll do a whole video on Mickey, too, because it's taken me a lot of time to get very familiar with the Mickey Mantle signature. When I first started collecting, I thought I'd never get adjusted to Mickey Mantle's autograph because it's very reminiscent of Willie's. No. There's a lot of styles of forgery. This is like the most recent. There's the 90s, like where they were doing a lot of the Operation Bullpen stuff. You know, it always kind of cracks me up because Mickey Mantle's signature here, to the untrained eye, you know, if you were just to sell this as a Mickey Mantle straight up, you know, to somebody who isn't necessarily versed in purchasing Mickey Mantle on like an industrial level, the NTLE right over here, Mantle, the V, which it looks like a V. It looks pretty good. I mean, actually, it looks pretty good. They worked pretty hard on that. And the M's look horrible. You know, they look absolutely horrible. Look at how this is for Mickey, of course, but you know, there's a lot of hesitation there. It's horrible, and it's all too close and bunched up. And of course, look, it's the same signature. So I tell you what, whoever's signing Willie is also signing Mickey. I guarantee you that. $850. Okay. $850. Let's go ahead and see what the COA is, if there is one. Oh, here you go. It is basically a blank piece of paper that says Certificate of Authenticity, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays photo. Classic Sports Collectibles, LLC. It could be anybody. I mean, I wouldn't buy it. Even if I was confident in the signature, I don't think I'd buy it. Here's another one of those autobiographies. Yep. So there you go yet again. Again, if you want a Willie Mays signature, go get one of these autobiographies. They're always pretty cheap. I actually know a guy who was only buying these books, and last I knew, I think he had 65 of these books. They're not worth anything because it's just a page. But again, the intention is that down the road, they'll be worth some money. And they're good. They're safe. You're not going to have any issue with one of those books. Most of the time, they were signed. Just, you know, again, pay attention to the way that those are signed and the position of which they're signed. You know, are they vertical or are they up and down? I'll go ahead and scroll back up here to the top, and we'll go do a scoreboard. This is a lot of the stuff that I used to buy. This is an 8x10. This is a perfectly fine signature, and you'll see a lot of the times it'll come with this paper stock. I'm not going to sit there and say this is what you need to go out and buy is QVC stuff, but I will say this is good value, $150. This is a good signature. I don't even have an issue at all. Most of the time, you'll see a lot of the same photos signed, so that's a good thing that you can kind of look at. The balls all signed. Look, they all look the same. Do you see? Because he signed these in succession. He's sitting there at the table, bullshit with the guys at QVC. Ken and Paul Golden. I don't know what you have for dinner last night. And the other thing you'll notice is the toning of these balls. Same with the ones that I had in my collection that I sold. Look at all the toning. Yellow, 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 yellow. I mean, every single ball I owned, except for the one I have that I kept, is all toned to high hell. And, you know, look at this. This is one of those that is actually not horrible, but it's toned. It's toned there. Here's the certificate. And the signature looks fine. It's actually a little sloppy compared to what I normally would see out of him. There's the original box. Certificate enclosed. Suspected by Dave B. That's so funny. Willie Mays on a ball. That's funny. Whenever you see those old boxes, the gray boxes, those are scoreboard boxes. But look for toning. Look for toning, because toning's going to be age, and it's going to be his sweat, his whatever he ate for lunch. Because a lot of the times you'll find the most collectible baseballs were the ones he signed before he went to eat lunch. You know, here's a ball that I think is fine too. It's another autograph ball here. It's actually got the original plaque. It hasn't even been added onto the ball holder. Again, tonnage. You can see the yellow, natural toning of the ball. The leather aging. Here's another one of these balls. You know, again, according, you know, if you look at what I've got, you know, my QVC stuff, it's falling right in line with, you know, what that looks like. It's just, it's not that hard. Once you get it figured out what you need, this is the way to do it, you know. And as long as you're okay with a ball that looks like this, or it's soiled a little bit, this is like an $80 baseball. There's no way that ball's $180. It's crazy. I have this in my bedroom right now. This is a perfectly fine autograph. This is actually in a plaque, and they unscrewed this and got it out of the plaque. Yeah, that photo was only ever sold in a plaque. A lot of bats I would stay away from. You never really saw him sign bats, and when he did sign bats, it was very rare. These are kind of interesting. This is a good signature. This is a very good signature. I don't know if I've ever seen one of these as scoreboard, though. So this could have been, see, it's taped. This could have been misplaced, and they decided, oh, we're going to do a scoreboard cert because we've got one sitting around. I'd be careful with that cert attached to that specific item. But because, again, I'll show you here. It says the item that accompanies, the item of sports memorabilia which accompanies this document has been personally autographed by Willie Mays. I really think it just kind of sat there and, you know, got lost or whatever, and they ended up just saying, oh, we'll take that sticker and we'll put it with that. Look at this. Here's just the COA. So this right here is exactly why people don't buy scoreboard, because look, here's a COA for sale. You know, you just sell the fucking COA, you know, to somebody who's going to make a forgery, and somebody who's not very smart. You know, somebody wants $50 for the COA so they can sell some random shit, garbage to somebody. How does eBay allow this? This is unacceptable, eBay. I mean, really, that's unacceptable. Here's the same 8x10 photo I showed you that was only in a plaque. That one's signed in black. You know, they would have him sit there and sign a lot in black, a lot in blue. You'll never really see any other color. I've never seen a red Willie Mays signature. That was always very rare. This is a fake scoreboard ball. I can tell you that right now. I've never seen... See, it's always funny because you got to do like a double take, but this ball's too nice. See, it gets kind of weird because I've never seen a Willie Mays that was signed scoreboard that looks like this, and I don't like it. I would stay away from this. $600 too. That's way too much money. That's way too much money. Verified with by the scoreboard for your peace of mind. Don't ever fall for that. Again, you're going off the ball. You're going off the signature. You're not going off of, you know, what you think. You know, no, you're going off of the signature, not off the COA. You can use that as a little launch pad to say, hey, this looks good. You know, I actually have this thing in my room too. I have this exact photograph. This is another one of those scoreboard photos. Wow, only 660 of those. I've actually got one of them in my room. So that's kind of funny to know that they had that short of a run on those. You know, you'll see this photo a lot. I can't believe this autograph is still, or that's still up there for sale. Here's actually one of those that you can see that's a scoreboard sticker on the back of it, COA, same good signature. There's the plaque. That way you can get a good idea of what the Willie Mays autograph looked like on the plaque. So, yeah, I mean, if I were to go back up here to, let's just, well, actually here, let's look, just look up Willie Mays highest priced. Autographed baseballs. Oh, yeah, that's amazing. We're going to stop and appreciate that really quick. Wow. That's a absolutely beautiful piece. Not worth that much. Not worth that much. Say Hey, Willie Mays. That's a it's a very desirable signature. Not worth that much, but that's a very good piece. Here you go. $18,000. The third ball. The third ball. $18,000. This is fake as hell. Look at the sticker. It's hardly stuck to the ball because it's such a low grade fake sticker. You know, it's on an era ball that would have been sold. You know, it's a William White ball. You know, old PSA DNA. Watch out for these. Watch out for these. That and those old rectangular ones. You know, they were issuing this sticker or this sticker and that PSA card back in like 2006 to like 2009, which is when a lot of this forgery stuff was going on. You know, again, for it being Willie Mays and him handling it all so much and signing so much, there's no toning on that ball. Zero toning on that ball. Very high-end ball. Somebody signed this wearing gloves. You know, Willie never did that. Willie never, ever did that. Here's a fake Willie right here. That's run-of-the-mill. That's a, and then here's a fake receipt that you would probably have found for shop from home, is my assumption. Yeah, shop at home. Yeah, stay away from that. Not even close to being real. Not even close. Wow, he's got that down from 1 million to 900,000 this week. What a great guy. Birmingham Barons. That's really cool. Wow, there's another one of those. That's wild. See, you'll see a lot of these. They all share a lot of the same characteristics, you know. But the fake ones, the Say Hays, they're always the same. They're always the same. Do not fall into the trap. They will seem cheap. They will seem like maybe this one's a good one. You know, maybe Kyle doesn't know what he's talking about. Maybe this is the good one. That's not the case. All of those Say Hays are horrible, and I would never go near them. I'd never go near them at all. You'll see a lot of these Gold Glove balls, always the same. These horrible Hall of Fame balls. You know, desirable people collect Hall of Fame stamp baseballs. It's not even an authentic Hall of Fame Rawlings ball. That's crazy. Look at how the sticker's falling off. I have over 150 baseballs in my collection, and I've never seen a sticker start to ever fall off of one of the balls. Same deal. Fake. Fake. And this one's $702, but that one's actually good. You need this old shit that looks like your grandparents would have had it in their storage unit. Most of the time, it's pretty good. When it's got wood around it, it's a good one. I think in the future, people will start finding those wood plaques, and kind of like how I do. I'll find them, and I rip them right out the plaque. Look at this horrible monstrosity. There's actually people bidding on this. I wouldn't be shocked if people aren't bidding on this to have in their collection as a forgery, to show off, because this is one of the worst ones I've ever seen in my life. This is something that like I would have just done as a joke and listed on eBay to see if some idiot would buy it. You know, it's really remarkable. So yeah, that's Willie Mays. eBay should be ashamed of themselves. We're gonna do this again some other time for other players like Mickey Mantle. This is something that means a lot to me. I actually have a couple Willie Mays photographs in my collection that look pretty much identical to this. You know, you always want to look for the new COA. You always want to look for, a lot of those telltale signs. You know, that nice little droop. This is one of the most infamous photos of all time. And to buy this now and have this in your collection now is smart. And I've been able to stockpile quite a few of them. I'm not selling any of them, though I think those will be the ones that will be the most important down the road. I think baseballs, you know, it's like Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Johnny Bench. They have signed more shit than anybody else has. You know, there will never be a shortage. The supply is so high, but the demand is still somehow exceeding. And a lot of the time it's because of the dealers. the Mickey Mantle autographs, their prices will always be high because dealers can flip them because somebody always wants a Mickey Mantle. And people understand and accept that a Mickey Mantle signed baseball is $1,000. People know that. Willie Mays, we're not at that point yet. People are still kind of getting the ball from $150, like 2 months ago, up to now $300-$400 a ball. I saw the weekend that he died, people were paying $800 a fucking ball in gold. That's why I sold all of mine, because I thought, I was like, damn, dude, if I could turn all my balls into, almost $10,000 worth of shit that I paid $120 a ball on, as low as $45 a ball, that's crazy to me. You just, I don't know why we wouldn't do that. So, yeah, that's really all I wanted to say tonight. This was actually a really good stream. I like doing this, just kind of going over this. I've always wanted to kind of just put eBay on blast and say, hey, how dare you? You should be embarrassed for yourself, eBay. It's insane that you do have the balls to come to those national conventions. I had never been to a national convention until just the one in Cleveland this year. And I never realized how uneducated people were that were at your booth. Just, they were essentially consuming what you were producing on site, not necessarily what your website was producing away from the convention, but what people were consuming there was kind of like having ice cream when your knee's bleeding. It takes your mind off of what the reality of, what's really happening. Your knee is bleeding. You could be infected. You're whatever you want to go down the rabbit hole and say, it sucks, but you get the ice cream to kind of keep your mind off of it. The reality is eBay has made themselves one of the largest distributors of manufactured forgery memorabilia in the world, and they've done a good job at keeping a lot of things off the market, but they should be ashamed of themselves, because you think, as big as they are and as many billions and billions of dollars of just shit is put on their website daily, that for something like this, they could have somebody go through, not necessarily from PSA or JSA, but somebody go through and manually remove items that I showed you that have bids on them. People are going to pay money, but eBay doesn't care. They're going to get seller's fees. They don't care. They don't care. They would rather see junk sell for cheap because it's any pocket in their money. It's any money in their pocket. So, yeah, don't let yourself fall for an easy scam like this. It's only on eBay. eBay is just the absolute worst. If you want to get yourself good quality Willie Mays memorabilia, stick to your golden, stick to your heritage auction, stick to hunt auctions. You're going to pay a premium. You absolutely will, unless you take care of yourself and you do your own research with a signature that's as difficult as Willie Mays to get right. If you're able to find a good, clean Willie Mays on just about anything for a decent price, under $200 now, buy it. I don't need it because I've already been there, done that. But if you need a Willie Mays, anything under $200 that looks like this, buy it. Don't even question it. So yeah, I think that'll probably do it. This has been fun. I definitely want to do this again, but I think that's where I'm going to leave it today. If you have any questions or maybe even recommendations for what our next video should be, let me know. Let's get to it. Let's just keep this channel going. I'm going to keep doing the live streaming format, so hopefully people catch on to this and we kind of start something fun. And then we'll eventually get into my collection. Of course, if you haven't seen my Twitter, I just collect Hall of Famers, so we'll start going over that. Maybe we'll do a 1-by-1 at some point. Maybe we'll do that. So let me know what you think. If you like this, subscribe, and I guess we'll just catch you in the next stream. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.